everybody? Yo, the last day of Ramadan today, getting ready for Eid tonight. It is what it is, man. Listen, discipline is discipline. Any way you can get it, you get it. Like I said, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Christian. I'm eclectic. I believe in a little bit of everything because it's all the same supreme being. You know what I mean? It's all the same one. So it's different languages and all that stuff. It's the same supreme being. Whatever you believe in, I hope you believe in. That makes you a better person. That's all I ask. As long as you don't believe in evil. You know what I mean? Some people call it the devil. Don't believe in that. But if you believe in evil, understand there is good. If you believe in the negative, understand there is a positive out here. So when you're not feeling a certain way and you're feeling down, try to think positively, and that should tell you what you need to be aligned with. Because when you think negatively, negative things enter your life and stay there. When you think positively, positive things enter your life and stay there. That's a message I try to give my children and my family and my friends and anybody else I come in contact with. Think positively. Yes, is the glass half full or the glass half empty? Don't think so pessimistic about things. Think optimistically, all right? So it's all good, man. But shout out to everybody. Welcome to episode 371 of the Confidence in the Klutch podcast with Don Nelson on the Confidence in the Klutch network. Click that bell for notification of new content when I drop, wherever you listen, on YouTube, when you're watching, new media, energy up, health is wealth. We got a lot to tackle. I'm liking this new way I do it when I do it on my lunch. You know what I mean? To make everything better for me in the evening, even though I might not drop the video till later. So we're going in a production bin. I'm going in different files. This one was from my man, 99, a producer from Milwaukee, circa Chicago, back in the mill. You know what it is. Family, friend of the show. Let's do it. Okay. All right. Now, NBA news. Let's talk about it. The New York Knicks will be without Julius Randle for the rest of the season. He's been out since January. He will be having season-ending surgery on his right dislocated shoulder. Now, to me, the Knicks need him to make a real run. However, I don't think that I don't feel like they were even ready to contend this year with him for a title. It would be nice with the full-fledged team to figure out where the Knicks need to go. I would say that. But I didn't think they was going to have enough to take out Boston or Milwaukee, you know what I mean, with that team presently constructed. But it would be nice to know if they can take somebody to 6, take them to 7, to know what they need to tweak. Right now, they're currently 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure. Don't want to be giving out falsified information. Hey, when you riding and you getting it, man. Well, they're fourth in the East, man. So. Yeah, 4th in the East. So, but they only one game out of the second place because the Bucks is set tripping. They're tied with Orlando, but listen, man, I don't even want to talk about it. The Bucks 3-7 in their last game. We're gonna talk about the Bucks though, but it's not. The league is over after. The league is over. We got a couple games because the playoffs start on the what is that on the 20? The playoffs start on the 20th. If I'm not mistaken, or Sunday the 21st or something like that. So the league is wrapping up on this Sunday, the 14th. Oh, man. Hey. Everybody got like 3 or 4 games left, so we're going to see. Hey, that second, looking at that, we'll talk about it, but where the Knicks are, and they're ahead of the Heat. And yeah, man, hold up. They're ahead of the Heat. No, they're way ahead as fuck. The Knicks are a half a game ahead of the Cavs, a game and a half ahead of the Pacers. Yeah, this Eastern Conference stuff finna go down to the wire. So they just got to keep on winning out. They should be okay. But for me, always with the Knicks, success for me would be them making the second round this year. If they can get to a conference finals with all that parity, but they got to they got to beat the 2. But what if they the 2? What if the Knicks the 2 though? I think if the Knicks the 2, if the Knicks are the 2, they got to get to the conference finals because that means they played enough and they won enough games, even barring injury to some of their main players, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, and Julius Randle, that they weathered the storm and they was able to get the second seed. It don't matter what the other teams is doing, but if they can get that second seed, yeah, they got to make a conference finals. They got to make a conference finals. Let me know what y'all think. Bronny James, we entered the NBA draft this year, and he will also enter the transfer portal to give him more flexibility. My thoughts is he has to go to the combine. I believe he has to give medicals over his heart issue. That's not going to be an issue with him. Like he's trying to hide what happened. Everyone knows what happened. He's good. He was cleared to play this year. He wouldn't be out there if he wasn't cleared to play by his family, first of all, let alone the university just trying to put him out there to win games. So I hope and pray he's good, just like I pray over all the children. Even though he's 18, 19, he's still somebody's child. You pray over all the children. And this puts pressure on the Lakers, though. Because if LeBron is going, I want to play with my son, to going, I just want the kid to do what he wanted to do, to if he wants to be in the league, he can play in the league. I don't think the Lakers can draft him for that. At this point, maybe the things switch with Bron, that Bron just wants him in the league while he's in the league to play against him. I don't think a team would be foolish enough to say, we're going to draft Bronny James with the hopes of grabbing LeBron, because LeBron ain't going for that. You draft Bronny James because you think Bronny James can play in your organization, not to get me there. He wouldn't do that because that would throw smut on his son's name. And that would make his son look like is nepotism, which is always going to be nepotism for a little piece because of who he is. But if he can go out there and perform, that's something different. There's a lot of children of NBA players that's in the league right now, and they played, and they created their own name. That junior does carry a little weight, but they carried their own name. And for the most part, some of these people that played in the league, that sons of former players, some of those are better than their daddies. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep that shit real. So we know that as well. So shout out to him. Me personally, I'm a LeBron fan. I would say, yeah, if the Lakers got a pick to get him and he shows up in the draft combine and all that, his stock could rise now. And the Lakers might not be able to get him. That's what I want. I want his stock to rise in the draft combines and then his workouts and stuff, and somebody takes him higher than that 40, 50 pick where he's projected to go right now. Wherever, I just want his draft stock to rise. That's all. And it's not a gimmick. That would be success for me as a fan of the family and just a basketball, just watching the story. Because when this can happen, it's going to be history. So for me to see that history, I would love to see that history, y'all. Let me know in the comments. Bucks talk. Let me get on some more 99 to producer right fast. Now let me see. All right. We had the Bucks losing to the lowly Wizards last week, right? That record is terrible. Like the Wizards were, I mean, what y'all want me to say, man? The Wizards are 15-64, B. They got the second worst record in the league next to the Pistons, 13-65. Like, they lost to the Wizards without Dame. Now, the Bucks are 1-6 when Dame is out, but this roller coaster situation that they have going on with the Bucks, Doc says everyone needs to prepare better for road trips. Didn't Giannis say something about that earlier in the year? Doc talking about including staff and players. They don't bring the necessary professionalism on the road. And I was thinking, like, what does that mean, Doc? Like as a leader, they blame the leaders all the time. But what does that mean, Doc? You know what I mean? Does that mean, yo, hey, you niggas ain't organizing our gear right. Get our gear right, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, you taking too long to get our film together on them iPads, B. You know what I mean? What is it? Bucks have lost 4 in a row and 6 out of their last 7, yo. 4 in a row, 6 out of their last 7. Tonight, we welcome the Boston Celtics into the Fiserv Forum. Man, Boston is not coming for sympathy for us. They're coming to give us another loss, our 5th in a row. Do you think Boston want to play the Bucks in the second round? No, but the Bucks could fall to 4. The Bucks could fall to 4th in the East. The Bucks could fall to 4th in the East, y'all. Just keep it real. They're a game ahead of the 3rd and 4th place. They're a game and a half up of the 5th place, and they're 2.5 up of the 6th place. The Bucks could fall to that 4th place, man. So the Bucks remaining games, they have Boston tonight. They got Orlando tomorrow. Ooh. Boston tonight, Orlando tomorrow on Wednesday. At OKC on Friday. and at Boston and at Orlando on Sunday, man. Hey, man, they could fall. Man, Mill. And they could lose the Central. Man, listen, man. Oof. Yeah, they got to get it together. Yo. Whew. They lost to Washington, Memphis, and Toronto, and the Knicks. Right? The Knicks, Washington, Memphis, and Toronto are well below 500. The Knicks, just the Knicks, right? So I got a question for y'all. I know I was the one calling for Adrian Griffin because I didn't like how the team was looking, but I think that was more personnel. Now hindsight is 2020. I don't think it was all Adrian Griffin. He's the fall guy in hindsight for whatever they didn't like what was going on. But they were 30-13, which is a 70% winning percentage when he was fired. They're 15-17 under Doc Rivers, which is 47% since Doc has been hired. The team is scaring me, but they ain't scaring no motherfucking teams in the league. How about that? They don't have the cohesiveness that a contender should have at this point in the season, and that they had in the past, and that they had on both sides of the ball. Losing Drew and losing Grayson was big. I told you we can't lose our best defender, on-ball wing defender. We can't lose our second best on-ball wing defender, and it's not translating in wins in more wins with losing them. Because you can't lose defense and expect to win the games. You can't go and outscore the other opponents and expect to win the games. However, we still should be able to beat sub 500 teams, yo. So whatever the personal shit you got going on, Dame got personal shit, Giannis got personal shit, everybody got personal shit. Chris can't stay on the damn floor. He got a tooth knocked out on Sunday. We don't have time for it anymore. Nah. The Bucks play to their competition. That's their problem. The Bucks play to their competition, which is the worst thing for a coach because it looks like you can't organize a team to get right and do what you need them to do. Nah, these motherfuckers is playing to their competition because they think they're better than what they are. And they think somebody going to lay down because it say Bucks on their shit or Milwaukee on their joint. Or when they come in the floor, it's supposed to be, oh, man, you coming to play the Bucks. You got to get down and lay down. Nah, ain't nobody scared of them, right? So my thing is, the big three under Doc has only played in 8 games. That's the biggest thing, right? So if Doc is 15-17, he only had them for 8 games. Let's go half and half, right? So then let's put that to 19-13. Do that sound a little bit better as a record if they split them 8? Right? Or if we got them 8 more, if they played in 16 games together and they split those. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's not enough. It's just not enough, and the Bucks better figure it out because if they get to their 4th seed and they got to play Boston in the second round, man, like they got to win all 4 of these games. They got to go 4-0. They definitely got to win the Eastern Conference games. But we should be able to rest Giannis down the stretch, and we can't because we can mess around and get the 4th seed, man. Drew, Grayson, and Dante. That's it. I never wanted Dante to leave. If we got Grayson here, I like Grayson. I like them better than what we got coming off the bench for him right now. As far as the guards, Bobby's Bobby gonna do what he do. Drew, I nothing more to say about Drew. He went to Boston and made them legit. Why delegitimized what we got going on in Milwaukee, man? You know, in the comments, man, y'all think, man, we in trouble though. We are in trouble city. All right, that beat so smooth. We bringing it back. Let's bring it back. That's one of my favorite songs by 99 a producer, Enchanted. All right. NCAA men's and women's tournaments, right? Remember I had UConn versus Kentucky and Marquette. That didn't work out. So it was UConn versus Purdue. Final Four was cool. I really didn't even watch it because I was more focused on the women. So last night's national championship game, shout out to UConn for winning, back-to-back champions. Purdue went 1 for 7 for Trey. Purdue can stroke that thing. They averaged 8 3-point field goals made per game. So, man, just locking them out, that made them cats scared to pull that trigger, and they couldn't get clean trays off. Hell of a game plan. Edey had 37 and 10. People talking about he can't play on the next level. I don't know what the fuck y'all looking at. He gets the ball deep in the post, and I don't know if y'all watching basketball. That 5 is coming back where we got somebody to drop it down in the post. Then it's gonna be an issue. And they can't. He's so strong. You gotta deal with that though. You got to deal with that right, left shoulder shit. And when you get to the league, they're going to get him right. They're going to get him better. right? So, but what it is, this is what every coach dreamed they could have. Edie can get his, everybody else can't. And I love Dan Hurley saying that. You know what I mean? Limit the others. UConn's plus 140 points differential, the best in tournament history. UConn wins their 6th title as a program. I've been rocking with UConn ever since Ray Allen. As far as that, that Ray Allen, Allen Iverson stuff, of course, I was with G-Town all day, but after that, it was UConn with everybody that came through there, Khalida, Elle, and Eric Gordon and all them packs that came through, all that, man, I'm mess with them. Only UCLA, Kentucky, and North Carolina has more national championships in history. They're the first team since the 06-07 Florida team to go back-to-back. That's big. From what I saw, they had everything to win from the jump. Salute to their players and the Huskies and the Hurlers. That's what I say. Calipari leaves Kentucky for Arkansas. Now, Calipari hasn't had any title since 2012 and no Final Four since 2015. And that was a good. They really should have won that. That was with Julius Randle and them. Now, the last 4 years in the tournament, in 21, Kentucky didn't make it. In 22, first round exit. 23, a second round exit. And this year, 24, first round exit. Now, Calipari had a $33 million buyout, and actually last year, Cats was rumbling like it might be time for Coach Cal to go. But this is the best thing for Cal and UK. Like, yo, we're not going to fire you. That's too much money. If you find another job on the low, go ahead, and it is what it is. I think we ran this course here. Let's do it, dog. We appreciate you. Much love. As always, love, blue blood. Yeah, aha. He went to Arkansas. Fayetteville over Lexington. This is South to me. I can't say what's the better metropolis to live. There's always good restaurants. There's always good places to go. And there's always a big city close when you need to do your shopping. If you want to shop down south. All right. So, and it's not Atlanta and Miami, you know what I mean? Or Dallas or Houston. Or New Orleans. All I know is Arkansas got that Tyson chicken money. They got that Walmart money. And they got that Jerry Jones money. Those going to be the biggest donors that's going to be able to invest in what the men's program need to do. So Fayetteville will look like the Clippers' new arena. They probably got it. They already said they got a really nice, dope new practice facility. And it's going to be looking real good, like Coach Cal moving to Inglewood, you know what I'm saying? Once he get them winning, of course. So it was time. Now, out of all the names that have been floated around, Billy Donovan is intriguing to get back in the game if you want to leave Chicago Bulls. But if you want to be a professional coach, you want to be a professional coach. I can't see him leaving Chicago Bulls and they're not firing him to go to college because he won 2 titles at Florida. But he can make a splash at UK coming from the NBA and taking that back to what it is because they're going to be able to give him the money to do what he need to do as well. He still will be able to recruit elite talent there, but the game has changed now to the NIL that you got to have that. And I don't know if anybody come from the NBA if they want to go to that like that. However, listening to Bully Ball with Rachel Nichols and DeMarcus Cousins, who went to Kentucky, and El Hassan today. They said Rondo, because Rondo lives in Kentucky. He's finishing up his bachelor's there. His daughter got 1 more year of volleyball they're trying to get through, and Doe wants to be a coach. If you're going to make a big splash right there, get that shit to Rondo. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? And it's for Cal. Arkansas is cool, but USC, just a bigger name, bigger platform. May have been better, but maybe they didn't know he was available. But Arkansas probably gonna put more money into Cal than USC would because that's why their coach got up out of there and went to SMU. All right, y'all, let me know in the comments. Let's get to the women, though. That's what I'm here for today. The women, y'all know I'm a girls coach, so it's always for the women, right? The ladies. Angel Reese declares for the WNBA draft. Now, with Angel Reese, here's what I hope. I hope she goes where she needs to. That's the first thing. I hope she goes where she needs to. Meaning, she gets drafted by the right fucking team. I personally think she should come back 1 more year with Flau'jae and Morrow. Me personally. Because I think she could work on her ball handling, post moves, and her jump shot a little bit more. But it was a lot that came with this year, and for her to get up out of here and get to making the money and playing professionally is all good. I just hope she gets drafted by the right team because she has some improvements in her game that she needs to work on. And she's going to be good, but me personally, I want her to stay a year because I want to see that LSU again. I mean, Haley Van Lith enters the transfer portal out of LSU. Now, Haley graduated from Louisville anyway already when she came to LSU, and she has a COVID year left. So that means, was she a grad transfer student this year? And she got a COVID year left, so we're going to see. And that's interesting. But she wants to get out of there. But she was a shooting guard, and she had to play point for LSU this year. So to get back to her natural position, because I'm sure her draft stock dropped this year the way she played, because she didn't look good having to create for others as much as when she the focal point, they got to get her to stone. We know 13 million people viewed that Iowa-LSU Elite Eight game, which at that time was the most watched women's college basketball game in history. Final four, South Carolina, NC State. Don't stay fly. Gucci this, Louis that type shit. North Carolina State came out fast, running the floor, and SC made up for the lead. I mean, for me, I was worried a little bit when Cardoso bumped her knee, and she had to the locker room with 100, a minute and 39 left in the first half, but she was cool. North Carolina State plays with a certain bounce to their game, and they're balancing scoring, but when they got the ball, it's that bounce, and I love that bounce. And I was watching the game, it was too close for me, but South Carolina came out blazing fast, playing fast, hitting their shots as they should in the third quarter, went on a 23-6 run, and that was it. I mean, North Carolina State didn't score for over 6 minutes, and that was it. We'll see you in the Natty. Shout out to North Carolina State for making it that far. UConn Iowa game. I mean, early UConn was hitting open trays. I'm like, yo, they cannot get to the hole with penetration, only in transition. That's the thing. Iowa plays like almost a pack line zone a little bit. We might give you a little bit of them open trays. You ain't penetrating to the hole like that. Now, Iowa, it seemed like that Stokey was part of the game plan against UConn. But I was like, if you're going to make Stokey be a focal point to y'all winning, she has to put pressure on Aaliyah Edwards with some type of reverse pivot, and she's not going to drop step because Stokey ain't got no post moves. She ain't got no back to the basket. She ain't got no reverse pivot moves. So my thing, if you reverse pivot on Aaliyah, pump fake, and dribble into her, see what happens. You might get a couple fouls like that because you got to show her something. If you ain't showing her nothing, then that allows Aaliyah just to play off of you. But Stokey must have heard me because what she started doing is she came aggressive and she came out the they call it timeout with like 2 baskets back to back. But her thing is catching it and you throw it to her, layup, or she dribbling from the tray ball and catching it high and going straight to the basket. It got to be clean for her because she ain't got the crossover, the between the legs, the in and out, the drop step, right, left shoulder. She ain't got that. So I'm watching the game at that time, telling like, Caitlin, you got to do more than shoot long-ass J's to me. But they pick you up full court, and then you walk in trying to figure it out and all that. I didn't like that. Like, I was like, Caitlin in a W, they're going to pick you up like that as well. And your body language, like, you can't do that in the W. Motherfuckers going to cuss Caitlin out in the W. You can't do that. You can't do that. Let me see. Outside of Clark, UConn was doing a great job, because they didn't have another creator outside of Clark, and Clark was kind of locked up because at the end of the first quarter, it was like she had 2 points, 1 of 5, 0 for 3 from Trey. And I'm like, oh, UConn's defense is too much. But I was like, yo, if we're really going to go down like this, Clark needs to think about that COVID year she has. I'm just tripping, right? No, she need to go, but it is what it is. But my thing is when you can't score, find other ways to be effective in the game. Be a great passer. Be a great picker. Be a great defender when you can't find your way to score. That way the game can find you back. Because the game is going to find you when it's not landing. You can keep shooting, but you can shoot your teams out of games. You can do other things to be better. And you got to play some D, though. Right? So Iowa has some hard. They came back 10-4 run to close the half, 32-26. Now, UConn was up like, 12 in that second quarter. You know what I mean? What I didn't like is coming out of halftime, KK Arnold was shooting, but not shooting as much. She was open too much to not keep on shooting. KK, you're open for a reason, and you can hit that shot. Make them pay for giving you them shots, because KK had 10 and 3 assists at half. Clark had 6. She had 6, 6, and 6 at half. And mind you, I ain't even talking about UConn's best player. Right? So if I'm not talking about UConn's best player right now, then we're good. By the end of the third quarter, 51-51, Iowa came back. And then they went up 5 with 9 minutes left, and that's all she wrote. Iowa had a 15-6 run to start the fourth. Iowa went up 10. Then it came all the way back to a 4-point play. Now, we ain't talking about Paige Beckers. She was finding her spots, boom, 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 but that zone was helping her a little bit. But Paige was going good, and then they stopped going to Paige at the elbow with the smaller Marshall on her. Gino called that a couple times. Paige would go elbow, reverse her. Throw that shit up because they was playing that zone, and let's make that pass to get it to her. They should have did that a whole lot more and forced Iowa to do something else. All right. One thing about Caitlin's game too, Caitlin carries the ball. You can't carry the ball like this. She carries the ball a lot. They got to start calling that. That offensive foul, with 4.6 left, she dropped down and scooted over a little bit. Yes, it's not a moving pick, it's an offensive foul. I would have been better with an offensive foul than a moving screen. Don't call it a moving screen, just call it an offensive foul because she dropped and moved and slid over to catch her. It is not the picker's job to make the defensive player come off of them. It is the offensive player's job to go shoulder to shoulder with their teammate to make sure that person is as close as hell to that pick. And then the basketball guys, of course, we had the foul because that's 4.6 seconds left. We had the foul Clark with 3.1 left. No box out on the free throw. Iowa retains. So Iowa wins 71-69. Stalky had 23 and 3 all layups. Clark had 21, 9 and 7. Now, about the call. Gino said it post-game when it came to the legal screen call. You can call the legal screens on every play. We got 4 called on us, and they got none called on them. I guess we just have to get better at not setting illegal screens. That's season Gino right there, right? Season Gino. And he's probably right. They got to do better with their screening. But at the same time, we get 4 illegal screens. They don't get none. We never blame the referees for us losing the game because we don't give them credit when we win a game. But, he said little, but so much there. We all know the game did not come down to that play. It was the not boxing out, hitting the screens and dying. Seen Paige do that a couple times. Missing the open man and not pass to. KK not taking shots in the paint. All that, not taking shots in the rhythm, and the ability to not get to the basket. This game trumped the LSU-Iowa game with 14.2 million viewers at a time. Congratulations to Coach Staley, who won AP Coach of the Year on Saturday. Now, Women's National Championship game, Iowa SC, right? My keys to the game was this. For South Carolina, they need to feed Camila Cardoso. They need to get to the basket to put pressure on Iowa's defense in their zone. They have to make their trays and their defensive transition. They can't let Iowa get behind them. For Iowa, my keys to the game was to handle South Carolina's speed in transition. Clark has to get to the hole and dish for others to either finish at the rim or hit open trays. That way they don't know where it's coming from. And Clark has to have 40+ to keep them in the game. You have the number 1 rated offense versus the number 1 rated defense for the first time in 25 years in a championship game. Dope. Hey, when we rolling through, this is how we coming through. I'm anti-trap, nigga. Tell me what you gonna do. I'm with that boom bap, nigga, but I can do that trapping too. I'm making a trap beat tonight coming out of Ramadan. For real. All that, you hear it. Yeah. 99 producer making me get back in the lab. Now, okay, I hear you. This, that. And then boom. And it go like this. Yeah, it's bumping. All right. Iowa jumped out with a 10-0 run. Some silly fouls by South Carolina on trays. Yo, don't foul the jump shooter, man. Pressure bust pipes, though. Don isn't bothered. She ain't called no timeout. Other coaches would. Iowa started to do the suburban can't dribble push-off shit. I hate that. When suburban players, we don't say white, we say suburban. When suburban players can't dribble, they push off. I don't understand that. That chicken wing pushing off because they can't dribble, that should be offensive every time you put that out there. South Carolina went on a 9-0 run. That pressure and depth that South Carolina brings would be too much for Iowa. We all in the first quarter, I'm taking these notes, right? But Iowa's drawing mad fouls. Clark had 18 in the first quarter. Iowa's winning 27-18. Now, you could have said it's over. Iowa got their number. South Carolina ain't folding. They was 37-0, right? So I missed the second quarter, the whole second quarter, right? You know what I'm saying? I was talking with my daughter, talking with Belle. Shout out to Belle. but she wanted to watch the game. We just had to talk. But South Carolina figured it out. The little bit I was watching and talking with Bell, I was focusing on my daughter. South Carolina ended up winning 49-46 at the end of quarter two. So Clark had 18 in the first quarter, right? She had 2 points in the second quarter for 21-5-2 stat line for the half. South Carolina's done a great job in 2 quarters, right, to make it a game. Now they up 3 after Caden Clark had 21 in the game. Now we all know why though, because in that second quarter, we had to switch it up. We had to put Raven on her. And Raven, after last year, when Caden Clark was talking about I'm not bothered by her, like, okay, Raven, it was revenge season. She had to do what she had to do. I'm running that back for the trap shit. Shout out to 99. Raven said, no, we ain't doing that this year. We ain't doing that. All right, so South Carolina went on a 6-0 run to start the third quarter. So, boom. Now it's 55-46. And in the third quarter, 3-point field goals are the difference. South Carolina got the hit and Tessa. Shop. So now South Carolina extended their lead to 68-59 at the end of 3. Now in the fourth quarter, Iowa came out on an 8-0 run and made it a 2-possession game. I don't like the way the refs were starting to call that shit again like the first quarter, right? So I'm like, South Carolina has to continue to be aggressive because the most aggressive teams get the calls now. They get the benefit of the doubt. However, they have to be intentional with how they play. Cardoso, offensive rebound with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, was the play of the game because Iowa was a 2-possession game. And they missed that. Caden Clark come down, hit the tray. It's a 2-point game or whatever. Now, that put them up 7. When Cardoso put that putback, you know what I mean? And then Martin with the BS, right? You cannot box out and push back into the defender like that. That's a foul. If she stays there, it would have been over the back on Watkins because Watkins was overzealous with her offensive rebounding, and because she was the taller person, was always reaching her arm over Martin. But when Martin was moving back, you can't move a person back out their spot that's behind you. South Carolina wins the national championship 87-75. That Cardoso rebound with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter of the game won the game for South Carolina with all the other things that was going on because that was the biggest play in the game, biggest rebound in the game. Raven Johnson played that D after being shitted on last year by Clark with the I'm not worried about her comment. Clark had 18 in the first quarter and 12 the rest of the game. Once Raven started to guard her from quarters 2, 3, and 4, primarily, Caden Clark was 3-for-11 from the field. You do the math. South Carolina out-rebounded Iowa, right? They out-rebounded Iowa. 51-21. Turney Test, right? Tessa Johnson, right? Had a career high in the championship game, and she came off the bench. She had the highest point total for South Carolina. South Carolina had 4 players in double figures. Yeah. All right? Turney Tessa Johnson had 19, 3 of 6. From the tray ball line, 4 rebounds. Camila Cardoso had 15 and 17. Powell had 14 points, 3 or 4 from tray ball line. Kits had 11 and 10. You heard me? Salute. Now Clark had 30 for Iowa, 10 of 28, 5 of 13 from tray ball line, 8 and 5. Martin had 16 and 5. A. Falter had 12 and Stokey had 11. Not enough. Once again, rebounds, 51-29. 51-29. Offensive rebounds was the key in this game. Now I didn't even go to that. Offensive rebounds. Let me see. Because I just had the stats up. Offensive rebound. Let me see. Offensive rebounds. That was that key stat. Let me see. Box. Offense. I got to say. I'm sorry, y'all. Offensive rebounds. 7-18. Yep. So that means they had 11 more shots. South Carolina did. And that's how it went down because you had 11 more shots. South Carolina also won the assist battle 16-13, but Iowa was 25 of 63 for 40% from the field. South Carolina was 35 for 73, 48% for the field. So if you have 11 more shot attempts, right, South Carolina had 10 more field goal opportunities, right, and they made 10 more field goals than No, South Carolina had 10 more field goal opportunities and made 10 more field goals than Iowa. So 37-0 off the bench. That'll seal the game too. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Like, you can't do nothing with that, right? If you ain't balling, you ain't balling. Dawn was going to make me cry during that post game, and I was finna shed a tear, a little emotional. And then she gave it to her assistant coach, said Winston Gandy, scouting report. He did what he did. He gave us too much information, and we had enough to go and handle the shit. Love. Like, Dawn is here. She always been here. Dawn has been here. She been coaching for 24 years. I've been coaching for 23, 24 years, right? 23 years. That freshman backcourt with Fawali and Johnson handled their business that day. Fawali had 9 points off the bench, and their 9 is electric. You know what I'm saying? She takes the air out of the ball and just out of the arena, everything for the other team. South Carolina is the 10th undefeated team to make it. 4th team outside of UConn. Iowa. Now, me personally, we out here celebrating. Iowa do their little stuff on the court. I get all that. They want to be out there on the court. I'm fine. But they're trying. There was so much going on that I don't know where they was. But to me, I would say it was classless to stay on the court. I would have did it more by our bench. If they went in the middle of the court where they're trying to do stuff, okay, whatever. Doing the post game, like we got to do our Iowa shit while the champions are celebrating. We all know what would have been said if South Carolina did it or any team full of black players would have did it. So we know what would have happened. So that's just trash to me. Gino has 11 titles. Pat Summitt has 8 titles. Kim Mulkey has 3. Tara Vanderveer has 3. Dawn Staley has 3, right? She's the first black and you know what I mean? She's a black woman to break the glass ceiling to get up in that group. Dope. She has 3 titles in the last 7 NCAA tournaments. Dope. Like she said, uncommon favor. Uncommon favor is what's getting us here, right? And it don't happen when you want it to happen. It happens when it needs to happen. South Carolina lost 5 starters to the W last year, and she got them back. And they went undefeated, 38-0. And shout out to Dawn again for having class. Giving up to Caitlin Clark on that national stage in that thing. She always has class personified. Before she walks in the room, we know what she's giving us, calling her one of the GOATs. Because on Saturday, she was saying, yo, you got to win it to be considered a GOAT. But she said she's one of the GOATs for what she brought to the game. You can't be the GOAT without winning. That's what Dawn said. But yes, you're one of the GOATs. But we know she ain't one of the GOATs. You're one of the best college basketball players of all time. You ain't one of the best professionals. You ain't even play professional. But we got to miss us with that. She's gonna go. She's gonna make her adjustments, like Tarasi said. She's gonna hit that brick wall, and it's gonna be something. She's gonna be all right. Of course. Right? Of course. Right? After Dawn said you need Arena to be a GOAT. Right? That shows you can be wrong. Like I said, she said be the GOAT. She changed it to one of the GOATs, right? And she were intentional when she said that, right? So she wasn't wrong on Friday. And she didn't make it right on Sunday, right? I'm not calling anyone a GOAT a day before we play them, period. I ain't going to say you one of the GOATs before we play you, period, again. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of that shit. So y'all got to miss me with all that. Revenge season for South Carolina. Another thing. Revenge season for South Carolina is over. Another thing, ABC's cutaway, switching covers to ESPN without letting viewers know was trash for infomercials or your local news. Dawn Staley at South Carolina. They got to do better. Dawn Staley at South Carolina. ESPN got to do better. Dawn Staley at South Carolina, 109-3, 16 years, 47-1 in the SEC, 16-1 in the SEC tournament. 3 Final Fours, 2 titles, 3 titles. No. Yeah. Hold on. 3 Final Fours. She got 3 titles at SC. 3 Final Fours, 2 titles, 3 Naismith Coach of the Years the last 3 seasons. 440 and 106, 80% winning percentage, 3 national titles, 9 SEC regular season titles, 8 SEC tournament titles, 4 Coach of the Years, and 16 years at South Carolina. 18 million viewers for a game. Sometime it was over 20. Do the math. On last Wednesday's nightcap, Gil said Angel, Caitlin, Paige, and Juju need to be on the Olympics roster this year. My thoughts is you are right. I agree. Jump on them now and let the world celebrate them now. When you got something hot, it only helps the women's game grow exponentially. USA basketball, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Them 4 girls need to be on there. I got mad at ESPN. I'm not mad at the women's coverage. Elle Duncan, Chinea Gumake, and Andraya Carter, much love. Y'all did a great job. Andraya Carter is a star, yo. We know what Elle do. We know what Chine do. We know what they do already. This is Andraya's coming out party. Andraya Carter is a star. She has the it factor. She knows the game very well. Stephen A. Smith says she's the best analyst in the business. You know what I'm saying? Studio analyst. Like she's legit. She's definitely creating a case for herself to be so young and so great. Now, she needs to go back into negotiations now. Like, yo, y'all hear this? Y'all see this? Here's what I want Stephen A. Smith to do. Give her a show on this platform, right? Independent of ESPN, where she can do her own thing, covering men's and women's basketball. Have Chine on during her off season in the WNBA. Then tackle WNBA shit with others during her season. Her profile is rising at ESPN, having spots on major shows on the network. Elle, Chine, and Andraya should win an Emmy this year for their coverage of the women's tournament. Dope ladies, very well done to see three sisters up there doing it. All right. Transitioning, this is a big one today, y'all. J. Cole drops a new album, right? Might delete later. Dope project, listen to it. Production is tight. J. Cole, it's okay. I know he got mad bars. So Cole on some other shit. My thing is he dropped this. This ain't the best J. Cole, but he said he got a classic in the tuck. So that classic in the tuck is coming. Now, the big thing is he's responding to Kendrick on 7-Minute Drill. Even though the song is 3 minutes and 32 seconds long, people talk 7-Minute Drill. You try to get it out in 7 minutes, but he did half of the time. You got to look at it, how he set the message and all that. Okay, all right. You want some attention that comes with extensions, right? So that means he's riding with Drake, right? Kendrick really got at Drake with that verse. Nigga, it ain't the big three, it's just me. Because Drake on that song said, forget the big three, it's just me and you, Cole, and all that bullshit. Now, Cole went hard in this shit on some Jay-Z takeover shit, switch beats and everything. I'm fully loaded. I can drop 2 classics right now. Your first one, your second album is classic, all that, whatever, right? However, that don't matter no more because on Sunday, at his Dreamville Festival, J. Cole apologized for his diss to K-Dot on 7-Minute Drill, saying it's the lamest shit he's ever done, saying he'll take it on the chin if K-Dot responds, but he hope he can, you know what I'm saying, let it be what it's going to be. But if he got to take it, he got to take it. Now, I said dope because the shit felt forced anyway. It felt forced. It didn't sound right. Because K-Dot wasn't dissing you on like that. He was dissing Drake. Yeah, there's been minor barbs and pass through and little jabs and shit going through in the rap beef because the best supposed to clash at the top. But it's rap. You're always sparring. So I can have my positive and my negative thoughts on this. They're built different both ways because if they got into some gangster shit, we wouldn't have liked it, right? But if I want to get in some rap beef battle and then say I don't want to do it, we don't like that either. But this is what growth looks like. This is what development looks like. This is being 39, being versus 25 years old when Pac and Biggie and it had that shit. And we lost both of them over some of this stupid shit with Puff and Suge. So as a 39-year-old man, you can understand when I made a mistake, I need to stop, dog. Pac was 25 when he got murdered, B. Pac was 25 when he got murdered. That situation was some street shit, though. We know that. Not some rap shit and emotional shit over sharing the same woman and you catch feelings for her, then start to hate on your guy. Like it seemed like the Drake and Future and all this combination of all this shit. Now, I hope this doesn't discredit Cole as a killer, but he never was a killer. He's a killer rapper, but he never was a killer, right? He's always been a killer rapper. He's always been up there. But he never had that braggadocious shit in his bag anyways. No gangster shit. No disrespect. So now it's up to Drake. What are you going to do, sir? What would Drake do? You said the song, what would Pluto do? What would Drake do? Now, what would Drake do should be Kendrick's title to a diss towards Drake. Now, if you want to come with it, Drake, what would Drake do? Because J. Cole is out of it now. He over there somewhere. Now, my question to y'all, will K-Dot give Cole grace is the question. I will say yes. K-Dot will give J. Cole grace because they really are mans for real. Let me know in the comments. Quick ones, y'all. Then we out of here. I just bought Madden last week, right? Week. Yep, last week. So my team was the Texans. I played one game so far. I always liked the Texans. This season with C.J. Stroud. I liked them when Deshaun was there because he got moved around. So just got Stephon Diggs in the trade for draft compensation. Thank you. We got Joe Mixon, dope out the backfield. Texas reworked Diggs' deal. He signed a 4-year, $96 million deal with the Bills with $70 million guaranteed. Now we upped his salary up $3.5 million. He's going to get $22.5 million this season. And next year he can become a free agent after next season. We got him for a second-round pick. Genius. So we moved 3 years off his contract. Make it make sense. What a doozy. Cowboy Carter. I didn't talk about it last pod, but it's a phenomenal album for what Beyonce trying to do. It's genre bending. She goes in between country, hip hop, and rap. Okay, I'm cool with it. Now listening to highly questionable with Van Lathan, not high questionable, highly higher learning with Van Lathan and right now she's slipping my mind. She know y'all know what I'm talking. Van Lathan and Van Lathan and God damn it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He said this might be the best 4-album run with growth in her music. And you have to think about what he's saying. It might be the best 4-album run for her with her music. And I said, yo, you got Beyonce in 2013, which just came out, right? It just came out of the woodworks. Then you had Lemonade in 2017. Then you had Renaissance in 2020. And then you had Renaissance 2 in 2024. So, yes, I think that Rachel Lindsay, right? Rachel Lindsay and Van Lathan. I agree with this 4-year run. Beyonce, Lemonade, Renaissance, and Renaissance 2. This isn't a full country Beyonce album, though, but it's enough to get her awards. It has its R&B and hip-hop parts, but she's got her cosigns, and she should be good. She paid her respect to black country artists. I'm rolling, y'all. I'm rolling. Let me know if y'all think this is the best 4 run. I agree. I think it is. All right, y'all. Happy Eid to everybody celebrating Ramadan. For our Muslim community across the world, the largest religious population in the world. Thank you. We'll talk about what I've grown and what I learned about myself next week, y'all. Keep the conversation going in the comments. I love to talk with y'all. Shout out to everybody that leave comments. Get your confidence together. Get your clutch together. Support your own American-born African with mass appeal. Listen to and follow the network on various platforms, confidenceintheclutch.podbean.com, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Click that bell for notification, new content when I drop. Search Confidence in the Clutch. Follow, share, rate, and review. It's important. Follow us on X and Instagram at KITK. Visit us on Facebook at Confidence in the Clutch. Yes, I had the black Real Madrid, Vinny Jr. My shit say Vinny Jr. Let me see. Hold up. Y'all see it? Can y'all see it? Hopefully y'all can. Vinny Jr. Vinicius. Vinny Jr. That's my man. That's who I play with on FIFA. Weekly, Donald Nelson, D-Nell, Dizzle, Deezy, Deezus, Don P, Don D, Little D, Donrilla Digger. And my children bought this for my birthday. Your host of the Confidence in the Clutch podcast with Donald Nelson. The Confidence in the Clutch podcast about sports, entertainment, music, culture, religion, politics, and society. Have a safe and healthy night. If you're listening during the daytime, create a great day on purpose, y'all. We about this joint. Like I said, take care of your family. Take care of yourself so you can take care of your family, y'all. We up out here. Peace. 3, 2, 1. Confidence on 3, in the clutch on 6. 1, 2, 3.
Confidence.
4, 5, 6.
In the clutch.
Confidence in the clutch.